Appreciate it. Go ahead.
All right, guys, I'm going to show you how we rig a ballyhoo here on the Showtime. You know, everybody's got their own way of doing things. There really is no right way, but there's really 3 keys that are important to me. I fish with different people. I've learned a lot. And first, I'll show you how to do it, and I'll go over how I do it. And then I'll go over the 3 ways, the 3 things that really are important to me. So I've prepped out the ballyhoo, got all the poopies out. Don't cut too big of a slit. Just get them all nice and clean. And you know, it's really important to try to do your best, given what you've got, to get good bait. It's going to give you better bites, give you a second or third bite, and you know, when you're fishing, especially in tournaments, maximizing your potential. If you got a head or a worn-out bait rolling around back there, it's really wasting your time. Anyway, first off, what I do is I always use a swivel. That's just my preferred method. I know there's easier ways with the grommet, and if you're charter fishing and changing hooks all the time or going through different things, that's easier. It's really important though to get the right size swivel so your hooks aren't falling off. And I'll even go through my hooks and go through them, and because sometimes in a pack you'll have different size barbs and whatnot. I just try to do my best to make sure I don't get phantom bait disappearing in the middle of the day. So what I do is I go down through the mouth and I pull my swivel into position there. I take my copper wire and I go around the gills, holding it in position. I then slide my weight on. Here in Florida, I'm using a nice small weight. When I go back with this copper, I go up through the bottom ring of that swivel there. And then I go out through the top of the jaw. I pull my swivel into position. I pull my weight into position. What I like to do with my weight is I don't want it sticking way out, and I don't want it jammed up in, but it's almost like half of that lead is inside the fish. I do once through the eye in front of the lead, and I do twice behind the lead, making sure I close the gills. Then I form an X on top of the head, and I wrap out the bill nice, clean, and centric. Now what I'm going to go over with you now is I cut my bill nice and flat. What I'm going to go over with you now, let me rinse the blood off this. 3 things that are important to me when rigging a bait is, 1, you don't have any loose wraps of your copper, because I don't know why, it's like Murphy's Law, but you'll notice they're out of whack or anything, but they're wraps so nothing's loose, because that hook will get in there. 2nd, put my weight where I want it, no gaps, and I keep this swivel. When I went through that bottom loop, you can't have your swivel pulling off of your bait. And by going through that bottom loop, I've locked that swivel on there. Some of the guys rig the baits on the hook so that they can go around the bottom of that and keep it locked on there. But you don't want your swivel pulling away from the bait, and that'll help with, 1, getting a second bite out of a fish, and 2, I don't want to be pulling just on the copper wraps, because those things aren't that strong and they will break. By putting that extra loop in there, keeping them nice and clean. Rig yourself a bunch of baits, man. Get ready to go fishing.
How long does it take you to rig one, John?
I don't know.
And how many will you have on a given day?
Well, I try not to be wasteful, but I also follow the Boy Scout motto, and that's be prepared. So you don't want to run out of baits, and honestly, the money that everybody spends on doing this, bait is one of the cheaper things. You know, make sure you got lots of good bait.
Here you go. Nice.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you, John. Jon Meade, Showtime.